welcome, I'm Lily and I make videos about sewing from my very small sewing studio in my camper van. I live in England in the UK and I love hand sewing, embroidery, English paper piecing, quilting. I do some machine sewing as well, kind of to get the bigger jobs done a bit quicker, if that makes sense. But mainly I like hand sewing.
I hadn't realised how much I'd been struggling until everything became too much. Sometimes we're so busy lives, busy minds, busy thinking of others, we forget to just stop and think about how we're feeling. When things slow down, so does my mind, and I feel as though I can see and breathe again. The healing nature of sewing has become my therapy over the last few weeks. With every stitch, every embroidered stem, flower, I feel a little lighter. The rhythmic flow of the needle and the satisfying sound as it pierces the fabric, calming my busy mind. I need to ensure I become aware before things get too much. The world can be so chaotic around us, it can be difficult to stand still, breathe, and just be. I've been working hard on my self-care quilt the last couple of weeks, and it's really helped me to slow down and feel a little bit of peace and calm. No pressure for it to be perfect or to get to a certain point to share it on YouTube. Nor compare myself to others. Untangling the internal connection between the amount of work achieved and the focus on lots of impressive, completed projects.
I've been working on my self-care quilt the last couple of weeks because I've been trying to be a bit more calm and a bit more relaxed and less anxious, and it has been helping. It's doing it. The self-care quilt has been doing its job, so I'll share that with you in a moment. I've also finished an embroidery project and added that onto something, made that into a thing, so I'll show you that at the end as well.
My mum knitted these for me. I absolutely love them.
I'm really loving the embroidery, and I feel like the more I'm doing, I'm getting a bit more creative with it, a bit braver and a bit better at it really. I'm working on 4 blocks at the moment and they're all at different stages, so I thought I can then chat about the different stages and show you how they are coming together. The fabric I chose is quite creasy, which I didn't really think about, so that was maybe a bad choice, but I think I'll just add more embroidery and cover it up. That will be fine, and obviously I can just keep ironing it as I'm making it, but it looks a bit creasy now anyway. So this is my first English paper pieced one, and I've been using pentagons, which are my new best friend. I love pentagons, and I've been making some bowls out of them as well, because when you join them together they curve up. Obviously these ones have got a gap. You can see they've got a gap round. I think they're so pretty, a bit different, and I might have showed you that one last time, so I'm sorry, but that's the basic beginnings of my quilt. I've got another one here which has just got an embroidery in the middle. So I've used stem stitch for the green and French knots for the flowers, and I've used a combination of colours for the flowers. I've used a little orange and a pink. And I think I used 6 strands of DMC thread because I can tell how thick that is. I do quite like a thick looking embroidery for some things, and then a thinner, like this is thick, but then something like this which looks what I would call a bit sort of more sketchy design, I would do that with maybe one, or I think I did just use 1 thread on there, but 1 or 2 threads. But it doesn't matter, just use however much you feel comfortable with. What I would say was, when I was doing all those French knots, I have got a smaller needle. Now I don't know the size of these needles, to be honest, because they were my nanny's. She'd kept a darning needle for me, and she'd always said that she wanted me to have it, so I've got that, which was for knitting. It's quite a thick one, but in with the needles there were some other ones, and they are perfect for embroidery. So this one is really long and thick, so I use that for most of my embroidery and for my quilting now. If I'm doing French knots, because you're winding it round, I've used this one, which I think is still an embroidery needle, but it's a bit smaller. So I'm sorry, I don't know. I mean, that might not be that helpful because I don't know the actual sizes, but to be honest, I wouldn't have thought about using a massive needle like that for embroidery, but I'm finding it really nice, and I used it for my slow stitching little bowl as well. Someone said in the comments that this looked like a teacup, a saucer, and it does actually, doesn't it? Which made me think, because I'm going to make some more. I've got some blue Liberty scraps. They are Tana Lawn, and there's loads of blue which a viewer kindly sent to me, and I've still got some left. I made something out of them, and I've got some more left. So I might make a bowl out of them, because it would look like one of those porcelain blue bowls, little bowls. Do you know what I mean? Like cup and saucers. So that's my plan. I'm going to look for some blue later, and then I'll start making some of those, I think. Let's pop that. And I use this all the time. I think I said it like I've got all thread scraps. Some people keep their thread scraps and make something with them, don't they? But I do tend to throw mine away because I've got a lot of scrap fabric as it is, and I think I'm not sure. But I have seen people who have stuck them on bits of card and made little greetings cards and things. They did look really nice. But anyway, so they're the first two. The second two I've got to a different stage. So this one, because for my self care quilt I wanted to put some song lyrics on mine, but as I've been going along I think I'm going to put some more words on, but I need to practice my embroidery of my writing and how I can get that a bit neater. This quilt hasn't got to be perfect by all means, but what I'm also thinking while I'm making it, I do want to improve my embroidery skills. I'm not putting any pressure on myself or anything, but I would like to get better at it and learn some different stitches and design some of my own embroidery sort of flowers and designs and things as well. I'm not naturally good at drawing, so I don't know how that's going to go. So what I did was I'd got the pink square, the same as the other ones, and then I just found some fabric that I liked, pretty fabric, and the colours kind of looked nice, and I put up those leaves at the top, and then I've put, this is Moda Grunge at the bottom, and then made sure the edges were all square at the edges, and then I've added two along the side. So I've now got a square with I've now got the square here with the shape around the outside. Now you could go on and on with this and put more and more and more and make it as big as you want to, but you don't have to make them equally square. It's a quilt, you can put it together however you want to. But this is how I've started mine, and I might put some more shapes around the outside, but I've ordered some more fabric. This is Moda fabric. Now I do like using upcycled fabric, but I also do like choosing nice fabric as well, so I'm a bit in the middle, and I love Moda fabric. What I've been doing is I just get it in the sale, so I will look through. I've ordered some from the Wool Warehouse in the UK, and they always have fabric sales, and they have Moda fabric, so I've just gone through and had a look at the sale fabric, and actually I've ordered, I think it's called Sandalwood, and I've actually got the charm pack, the charm squares, the 5-inch ones, and they've got the bigger ones in the sale as well. So I thought, well, that's really good, because I can look at the actual fabrics and see the colours because I've already got them. And then I've bought like fat quarters or half a metre. So that's what, if you want to have nice fabric but you don't want to pay, or you can't afford to pay the full price, definitely worth looking at sale fabrics. And personally I like getting the sale ones because they tend to be the ones that no one else has bought, or they're a bit different, and I quite like the challenge of fitting them in with my fabrics I've already got. I quite like matching the fabrics and having a look and see what I feel works well together, and I end up with something quite a bit more unusual, I guess, because you're not necessarily buying the popular ones. I do want to make more upcycled things, but then sometimes I look and then the charity shops clothes are quite expensive, so they're almost not, you're not saving any money necessarily, because yes, you can get some of the fabric off them but to get the variety of fabric, I don't know, you probably need to go to a car boot sale and get lots of things for £1, because I think I could still be spending the same amount of money for a couple of fat quarters, and I've got one shirt which is all the same colour. So yeah, just some thoughts on that. But I don't just think I don't technically choose the fabric I like the best. I'll have a look around and I'll get the sale ones, and I feel like I've got a bit of a bargain as well, so it makes me a bit happy and not feel so guilty for buying it. It's just a treat, I keep telling myself. So I will have more bits to add to this quilt, because I think they'll go nicely with it. But they're all the same kind of muted pinks and greens sort of tones. So yes, I've got the words at the bottom. Please don't read anything too much, because my husband looked at that and he said, all alone together, what does that mean? I think he thought maybe I felt alone in our relationship. It's just a song I like, and it's just the particular singing of that part of the song that I really like. So it just reminds me of it, and I can look at my quilt and sing it in my head, or out loud if I'm alone. So yeah, there's lyrics on the other one as well. They're just lyrics that I like. And I think I might be putting some more self-care kind of words, like to be kind to myself, and I'm a pretty positive person, but I don't know what, I can't think of anything offhand, but some other words that mean something to me, or that I want them to mean, like to feel a bit free, or to be a bit braver, or do you know what I mean, that kind of thing. Just some things that aren't gonna, I don't want to feel stressed. Actually, I'm not going to put be braver on there, because that'll stress me out when I'm looking at it. I think, oh, what have I got to do to be braver? So maybe not that one, but anyway, I'll think of some words that will be have a positive, comforting impact on me. Also, the back of this quilt, I was thinking, because it's going to be a self-care quilt, I might put something furry on the back. How cool would that be? Lace around the outside, furry on the back. It's going to be unusual, this quilt. So, right, so anyway, I've gone on a bit. So I've also got a template here I've ironed on there. So I'm going to be doing some leaves and hand sewing those. I'll do it with stem stitch again, with green, probably a different green to this one. And that's going to be over both the sections. I think it'll look quite nice, kind of going off a bit. And that's where I'm getting a bit braver with my sewing. Embroidery, I'm kind of going off rather than making it rigid and in the middle. I want to kind of go a bit more free with it, a bit rogue with it. So there's that one. That's the block number 3. And we have block number 4, which I've actually put more lyrics on. I've done the flower in the corner, and I've finished that flower there, which I think looks really nice, actually, even if I do say so myself. I'm pleased with that one. It's got the little leaf in the middle and that lovely fabric again. So this fabric at the side, that was in the sale. That's Moda, but that was in the sale, and that reminds me of my nanny's curtains. And I'm sure lots of you will remember how people having curtains. You might still have curtains like that, but that kind of, it just reminds me of curtains from Nanny's house. So that's on there, and I've got those little tiny French knots there, and that kind of windy, which I really like, that windiness. And the lyrics on the bottom, and yeah, the EPP in the middle. So that's that block. So as you can see, they will get bigger and bigger, and I'll put more bigger and bigger and more embroidery on them. So that's how I'm planning it so far. I've just had an idea. What I think I might do as well is actually put some smaller EPP on as well. That would look nice, wouldn't it? I don't tend to film myself actually doing all the sewing and everything. If I do a tutorial, I try to. It's not, honestly, it's not something I'm best at. I know some people make brilliant videos where it's just their hands and they're making the whole video, but I can't do that. And also, this is no offense to anybody who makes those videos. They're really helpful and people really enjoy them. But I have to say this, I can't watch them because it looks like the hands are talking. You know when people are saying hello and then all you can see is the hands, and then the hands are kind of, I feel like they're a bit like a puppet, but without the puppet bit on. I can't watch them, and I probably shouldn't admit that. And it's nothing against the videos at all. I know they're really helpful for people, so I have tried to do a little bit of me embroidering, but I'm just not very good at recording those ones. And then I'll do it and I think, well, I'm not even in the middle, or I've moved my hands over here. I'm a bit too all over the place to kind of make those. So I just want to be up front, and in case anyone was expecting a video where I'm just my hands doing something, I'm not very good, and I wouldn't enjoy editing it because my hands would look like naked puppets. So, oh, sorry. Please, I hope that everyone doesn't unsubscribe now that I've said that. I'm just being honest, and everyone enjoys watching different things, don't they? So I think maybe if the hands weren't talking, but the hands, do you know what I mean? The hands, is this just me? I don't know, the hands look like they're talking. A nice way to be really creative with it. And I like having the 4 blocks as well, because I think you can have a different style on each one if you want to, or add different things to it. And I think I'm going to get better and better at adding things on and being a bit free with it, because this one up here is quite rigid, isn't it? I just made the 4, and then I just put that around the outside as well. I didn't really do anything else on there, whereas this one's definitely going to have more things on. And I wish I'd have put capital letters rather than a lowercase. If you're doing any writing, I mean, I need to practice and get better at it. It's not something I've done particularly a lot of. My advice would be to, maybe do capitals, because that would probably be easier. But it's not supposed to look, it's supposed to be low. I mean, I'm not judging myself on it, because I know it's not supposed to be perfect, but I also think it's okay to think, right, I'd like to practice that and get a bit better at that. That's okay as well, isn't it? Right, let me have a drink. A lot of talking going on. I've got 2 embroidery boxes. Now this one is all hand dyed. So I've got all my hand dyed in there, which are lovely, beautiful, bright colours. Yeah, and these are all DMC threads. I have sorted out all my threads, and I've only got DMC, all the hand dyed ones now. So they're all my colours, and I've just basically bought colours that I use a lot, all the time. I haven't got any. That's the most. I have got a few blue. I need more blue and more purple, I think, because I haven't got lots of those, especially if I do the slow stitched bowl with the blue to try and make it look like a blue cup and saucer. I don't know if that'll work or not. What do you think? Do you think it'll look like a proper little bowl? I don't know. To keep with the whole cosy self-care, I've made myself a hot water bottle cover. I did this embroidery. It's making lots of watery noise because it's in use. It's got warm water in here. So I made this embroidery, or I sewed this embroidery quite a while ago now, and I just saw it and I thought, do you know what, I'm going to make it into a hot water bottle cover. I'd got this really funky fat quarter I bought, which I really liked, so I thought I can use that as well. And that's all on the back. I've quilted it as well, and I had this beautiful lace which comes from Turkey, which a lovely viewer sent to me, which I appreciate so much, and it just looks lovely on her. I love the colour, and I've just put just stitched that on there, and I've used some of my hand dyed embroidery thread with really bright pink on there, which I think looks really nice, and I've just put that in the opening as well, and then a button. And I thought I'd share it because it's just a bit of a different idea. I think sometimes when you do a project, embroidery or EPP, sometimes you don't always know what to do with it, do you? So I just thought it's a bit of a random idea, but I thought a hot water bottle cover. I've had the pattern a while. I think I'm sure you can buy patterns for hot water bottle covers, but I can't recommend one because this one was from So Sweet Violet, and I don't think she sells anything like that anymore. But I'm sure there are patterns, or you could just literally draw around your hot water bottle and leaving up a half an inch or something, and then it just overlaps slightly at the end. So you'd need this bit and this bit. It's that bit cut in half, but slightly bigger just to overlap. But they're just only just overlapping, so it's nice and stripy inside. But I'm sure there are patterns available for hot water bottle. There might even be free ones. I haven't ever looked, to be honest. I just saw this one at the time and bought it, and I've just done a little bit of quilting on there as well. So there's my little rabbit hot water bottle. Honestly, I wish I'd have gone a bit closer. I don't like this bit here. I wish I'd have gone lower down with this. I don't like how that kind of curves around like that. That annoys me a little bit.
That's definitely a hair lily, not a rabbit.
I just love having all the quilts hanging everywhere. I might have said in a previous video, what I like about quilts is I just want them all hanging around. I want quilts hanging everywhere and folded up everywhere, and just they're so cosy. And I have been using this as a lap quilt. It's really, really cosy and warm. So I need to get some more middle. I've run out of the batting in the middle, so I need to order some of that. We went on a lovely forest walk in Rendlesham Forest, so I have taken a little bit of footage from there, and we saw, I've never ever seen, you won't believe this, a red toadstool ever, and they just remind me of fairy stories and books I used to read and all the artwork when I was young, and I was so excited, and I saw one, and then there was loads of them, so that was really exciting. I feel like I need to make something toadstooly now. But we went to Rendlesham Forest in Suffolk, which is not too far, about 40 minutes drive from here, and it's famous because in the 1980, I think, there was a supposed alien landing, and you can see where it's the supposed site of where they supposedly landed was, but that's what it's famous for. So that's not why we went particularly. I just really wanted to go to the woods. I was really craving woods, and there were so many leaves, literally piles of leaves, and I just wanted to kick through some leaves, and that felt amazing. Dry, I don't like damp leaves, but I love crispy leaves, and just kicking my way through them that was lovely. I think most people struggle at some time in their lives, don't they? So it's nice to have a thing that you know you can do that helps to calm you and relax you. So it's such a positive thing, and I think that came through on most of the comments on my last video about how you all felt that sort of whatever craft that you enjoy is just so relaxing, and it's just so good for us, isn't it? So it's really lovely that we have that, something that we can do. I don't know what I'd do without it, really. I love being in the van and making the videos from here. So nice, it's so relaxing, and I think something about it makes me more creative, and I think it's just because even if I'm in a drive at home, I've just got nice nature all around me, and it feels quite free for me. I mean, for some people free would be maybe not just being in a van but for me it is. I feel quite free. I am a free spirit, but I'm not a very brave free spirit, so I'm not the sort of person that's going to go off and travel miles just in the drive in the van, and I feel free. So it's good, isn't it? I'm sure I'm not the only one like that.
Feeling free means different things to different people. To me, it means feeling free to be truly myself, comfortable with who I am without being held back by fear, self-doubt or anxiety. I may have made slow progress on my quilt, but every stitch has helped to soothe me. Join me next time as I try to make something pretty with these little tiny blue Liberty scraps. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, everybody. See you next time. Bye.